Okay, we're back. We're back here at Parkview Subdivision. We got a live block party going on, sponsored by Chris Richardson, the State Farm agent. We're going to talk a little bit of sports right here. I got my main man, my neighbor, my good friend, Frank.
What's going on, man?
Frank, I tell you, man, what do you think about tonight, man? It's been
it's really amazing. You know how many people here?
a couple of hundred, 200-300 people, you think?
We turned up right now.
Man, I tell you, the fireworks is over and people are still in the street and they're dancing and partying. I mean, it's a great thing when a neighborhood.
I thought maybe I was out in L.A. and partying after the news, you know?
Man, it's great when a neighborhood comes together like this and you don't see any violence, any people arguing, anybody fighting, and they just having a good time. We got good food out here.
Absolutely.
We got Bear Grill over there. Tell us about Bear Grill. I know you got a little personal.
Grizzly Grilling Ground. You know, that's my dad. I mean, he puts it down. He really does. So he enjoys what he's doing. So, you know, that's always a good thing, man.
Right. I talked to a couple people already. Told me, man, they said those ribs are falling off the bone, man.
Ribs, pulled pork, pulled chicken, smoked, barbecue, hogs, whatever you want, he got it.
Yeah, man, I tell you, he got some good barbecue. And I think every time I walk over, he's busy. I said, "How you doing, man?" He said, "I'm all right." He making some taco. What is it?
Nacho.
Man.
Nachos is crazy.
Man, I tell you, I don't know why this guy, man. He should come out here more. I'm sure we'll see him out here all the.
Out during the summer.
Yeah. And also, we got another. I just want to mention real quick another sponsor. I had to want to do it. Well, we got Carolina Wings, I'm sorry about that, on 42, along with Chris Richardson that sponsors the event. He's right here on 155 in the
big up to Chris and State Farm.
Big up to Chris State Farm. I'm going to get him over here in a minute. He's going to say a few things as well. But look, let's get to sports right quick. We're not going to be long here. We're going to make this short. But I want to ask you, what do you think about LeBron James? I mean, it was kind of sudden. I think LeBron already had it in mind from when I heard that he had already enrolled his kids in school. So what do you think about the LeBron move to L.A.? And do you think that he can take this team to the playoffs the next couple years?
Well, you know, being that my wife and their family's from L.A., being that I'm an L.A. fan, and we've been going through, you know, with so much turmoil over the last few years, I think it's just a beautiful thing in the whole. He does have his work cut out for him.
Yeah.
You know, Golden State is a juggernaut, and one move is not going to do it.
Right.
I mean, LeBron going to L.A. is big, man. You know, and it still puts pressure on him because he has to deliver. I think if he would have went to some other teams, it would have been that much pressure. But to go out, grab the purple and gold.
Right.
You know, Kobe just retired not too long ago, so he's going to feel the shadows of Kobe.
Right.
Magic's in the office. He feels the shadow of Magic. And then all the stars out in L.A. So,
yeah.
You know, you have to deliver. But, I mean, LeBron has his work cut out for him. I think he was running from the West Coast for a long time. So, it's not just Golden State. He can't take games off like he did in the East Coast.
Right.
You know, you don't want to come in 8th and 7th seed. You want to see if you can finish about 4th seed. And reality-wise, you look at it, you can easily finish 3rd or 4th seed in the West Coast just by adding them.
Well, what do you think about Father Time? LeBron's, I think, he's 35 now, and the age, a lot of people say at the age LeBron is that in the next couple of years, I mean, you know, his play is going down. I mean, and also he's coming in with a cast of players that most people don't think that they'll make the playoffs.
What he just did in the finals, man, and I really was moved.
But again, you got to keep in mind, this is the West Coast. This is not the East.
He was playing against Golden State.
That's true. That's true.
In the West Coast.
Right.
So,
no, what I'm saying, he got swept in the playoffs.
Well, we're just talking about LeBron James and his performance and whether time is going to handle him.
Right.
He dropped 50 the first game.
Right.
I mean, so I would, like I said, I would have to take the last vision and thoughts that I had of him. I would have to see before I make a comment on that. But if I can go on, the last time I saw LeBron on the court, he averaged a triple-double against the best team in the world.
Right.
So I don't think that, and I think the cast that they have here is 10 times better than the cast they had at Cleveland. They got Kuzma. You got Ingram coming up.
Right.
They got Lance Stevens. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, what more do you think that the Lakers need to do? Who should they bring in to help LeBron make this team what they want it to be?
And after Golden State just got Cousins, man, they need like 3 more players.
Yeah, but I mean, what players out there that's available that?
I think Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, I think he'll almost take a player and a half. Between LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard, and if they keep the cast, I don't think they should give him the cast.
Right.
I think they should just wait it out, because if Kawhi Leonard's going to come to LA anyways, you need that supporting cast. Because 82 games is a long time. Kawhi Leonard hasn't played the whole year, and he sits out most of this year. You don't want him to come in all and have to do a lot.
Right.
So I should think they should keep that. Get someone like,
what's that kid name for the Pelicans? They say they have a chance of getting him. I can't remember his name. Is it Cousins?
Cousins already went to Golden State.
He did?
Yeah, he got signed with Golden State.
Wow. Was that what the day of yesterday? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know about. They got a couple of years before they knock off Golden State, but I think they should go after somebody like Kemba Walker. You know, he's under the radar, but he's a great scorer.
Right.
You know, you get somebody like that can fill up stats and he can get his own shot, and LeBron can rest. You know, that's what they were missing a lot. LeBron's only taking like in between the third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Right.
You know, he's taking a 7-minute rest. You know, you need somebody that can get their own shot so he can take a longer rest.
Right. Well, awesome, man. Listen, I'm not gonna hold you very long. I just want to bring you over for a minute, and we're looking at doing this thing here on tailgates for the Falcons and maybe some Hawk games, different things like that. We're trying to blow this thing up a little bit more. My main man, Big Time, out there, he's right over here.
Right. So before you stop me, I gotta ask you, what do you think the Falcons gonna do this year?
Now, you know what? That's the question you asked me that I need to get Big Time in here. As a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring Big Time. I'm gonna give you my opinion right now, which I don't have much of an opinion. But my question to you is, where's Julio? I mean, you know, the bottom line with the Falcons. Julio makes a big difference in this team, and I think that Matt Ryan needs Julio right now to get his timing down. So this offense, because we were talking about this the other day, with Julio on the field, defensive coordinators have a hard time trying to defend their offense because they scramble all over the place. But when Julio's off the field, I mean, it's kind of easy to defend the defense. And but I don't know. I mean, my thing is, Sarkisian, I'm still not locked in on. They brought in Greg Knapp this year to help Sarkisian, in my opinion. I think it's going to be good that we have somebody on the sideline that can communicate with Matt Ryan throughout the play.
Right.
The problem I've had in the past, I'm watching Matt Ryan. He go 4 and out, 3 and out. The next thing you know, he over there looking around. He's not looking at the tablet. He's not doing anything. So I think this might be a good help. This might help Sarkisian help the team by having extra coach on the sideline to work with Matt Ryan. But other than that, I mean, we got pretty much everything we had last year, a year before last. We coming back strong. They got to take care of Julio.
Man, that's a no-brainer, man.
Yeah.
I'm a Cowboys fan. If they don't want to take care of him, Julio, if you listening, I'll talk to Jerry Jones personally.
He's not going. He's not going.
Hey, you come over there, we'll take care of you.
Hey, Julio is a Falcon for life, man. He's a Falcon for life.
I don't know. Money talks, man. You know how that goes. It looks like it's good, and then
what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put Big Time on the mic, man. I'm gonna let him talk to you for a minute, and you can ask him the same question you asked me.
Absolutely. And
I promise you, he got an answer for you because this is one of Atlanta's biggest Falcon fans right here, and I promise you, he got an answer for you. But hang on 1 second, let me get him on for you, okay?
This is Frizz back. We're talking to Big Time now. I'm gonna ask him a question. How you think the Falcons looking this year? Being that football is so close, what is your predictions on the Falcons this year?
Well, I feel real good about them, man. You know, my prediction is the Falcons have probably one of the better seasons that they have had since the Super Bowl year.
Okay.
In fact, I'm so excited and so positive about what they can do. I think we can get to the Super Bowl. That's how much I feel about it.
I mean, you going on the ring. They haven't confirmed everything with Julio.
Well, they're gonna get that right. That is all part of the formation, man.
But you should include that, right?
Yeah,
If they get Julio all straight, they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get Julio right. Okay. I got confidence. See, they're not going to trade Julio. They'll be a fool if they do. So, with the man left 3 years on his contract, they're going to lose out to trade him, so they got to keep him. And Julio, if he know what's good for him, he going to show up to training camp and get this thing going. You know, it'll be the first time in football history where the home team hosts the Super Bowl with that team that's in there.
Big. That's big.
And that's how good I feel about it. I'm not one of these fans who speak positive based on what you hear of me and see of me right now. I'm objective about the Falcons. Call them bad, call them good. I feel that strongly about this year based on last year coming off the year before.
Right. So what did you think of last year's season? What did you call it, a disappointment, a letdown? What do you think happened after going to the Super Bowl, losing in the Super Bowl the way they did? And my whole thing was, I think they didn't have a bigger chip on their shoulder coming into last season.
I agree.
If that makes sense, you know,
most definitely.
I would figure some bigger teams, even Matt Ryan being MVP. I thought you would have something to prove going into next season after blowing the lead. And, like, you know, that wasn't a fluke. We got there. We can get back there. And don't get me wrong. I'm always the person to say it's when a person loses in the finals, Super Bowl, playoffs, that's a learning lesson. It teaches integrity. It builds you up. And they usually don't lose again. So I think if the Falcons make it again, they're going to win.
I do agree with you. Last year, you're right. They didn't come in with a chip on their shoulder. The Falcons came off the Super Bowl year, I think, with the expectation that they were good enough that they can get back there. Now, granted, I think a big part of why they didn't get back there was the changing of the OC and the adjustment that he had to make. The Falcons were in the Super Bowl year based on the adjustments they made from the previous year, which the offensive coordinator came in, readjusted. Well, they got the new offensive coordinator. The Falcons came in last year, went 10-6, went in the playoff, won a game in the playoff, on the road, mind you, then came back on the road again, where play away from possibly getting back to the NFC Championship game.
Right.
When you look at the Falcons all year, their offense just wasn't where it needed to be, particularly in the red zone.
But you know what? That was almost typical of the Falcons the last couple of years. Always just a play away. A play away from winning the Super Bowl. A play away from going to winning 15 games. It's always been a play away. Do you think Matt Ryan could be the issue of not having that killer instinct to put it away, or is it just growing lessons?
Well, I think it's a combination of both of those things and some others. You know, the Falcons, you know, we can put it on the offensive line. We can put it on Matt Ryan. We can put it on the coaching. Despite what they have done in the past, they went to the Super Bowl the year before last.
Right.
And they should have won.
They should have won.
You know what I mean? Regardless of what they had ever did before, they went there. Now, they went there in 1998. But the year before last when they went, they should have won that game.
Right.
You didn't win till you win. So
Absolutely.
This thing about we had the game, that's questionable. But the fact is, if they can duplicate what they did year before last, which I believe they can get there and win it. They got the same team. In fact, they are better. This is why I'm picking them this year to go 13-3.
That was my next question. So you have them winning their conference?
Yes, definitely. Last year we had a chance to win it. A game here, they were third in the division, but they was only 2 games out.
Right.
Having split the game with New Orleans, split the game with Carolina.
So let me get this. We getting this on record. You saying they're going to win the division?
I believe they will.
Cam.
Excuse me?
Guess who? Cam Newton.
Yeah. Well, my concern is not the Carolina Panthers, not the Tampa Bay. It's the New Orleans Saints. And here's where I believe we are better than the New Orleans Saints. Our defense is better than theirs. Our defense went from, I think the year before, from 13 to last year to 8. Our defense can still be better this year because we got the same team. You know what I mean? When you look at the same players, the same offense, the same defensive scheme, only thing you got to do is execute. Now, there's some things got to fall in place. You know, I'm not being optimistic from a loss degree. I'm being that way because I'm looking at what they have. There's no way when you got the offensive parts that the Falcon has that you shouldn't be where they were in the Super Bowl year.
Right.
When they brought Sarkisian in, Sarkisian came in not to change anything that the offense they did the year before. It was just to do the same thing. There was an adjustment on his part.
Right. Right. That's definitely something to be taken into consideration. How do you think they part on the defense side as far as do you think they should have made any different moves with all the free agencies? There was Peterson out there. Did you expect them to go grab a marquee big-name player to solidify that defense?
I thought they would have. Let me say this on record. The Falcons surprised me with the first pick that they had when they went and got a wide receiver. I thought they should have went defensively.
Absolutely.
Now, to re-sign Poe to a long-term deal, something I question, and obviously they didn't do it.
Right.
They had the money to do it, but they decided to say, hey, based on some other things, whatever reason, they didn't do it.
Right.
But they still should have went out and got another defensive tackle to fill his position.
See, that's where I think the void is for the Falcons. I don't think they need to make another offensive move. They're straight offensively. Because, sometimes a defense can create a turnover or keep somebody held, change field position, and make it a little easier for you to score, get your rhythm. Next thing you know, touchdown here, long play here. I think with all the defensive players that was out there, I was in question like, why didn't you make a move?
Right. And that was a decision that surprised me with the pick. But I still think the defense is good enough, despite what they have done, the defense is still good enough to be as good as they were last year and even better.
Okay, let me throw a team out at you that made a bunch of moves, and to me, I look at them besides the Eagles. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
So the Eagles look very well, very still intact. They made a couple of moves. But the L.A. Rams, you still think that y'all have a chance to beat the L.A. Rams with the moves they made?
Well, that's a good question. I have to say I don't know at this point.
You just said they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, there you go. Thanks for correcting me.
All right.
Well, you asked me an independent question, and you corrected me on it. Yeah, they can beat the L.A. Rams.
Right. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear confidence. What do you think the key is? You know the Falcons. Let's just say, let's pace you as a coach. You have to go against it just roughly. Go against the L.A. Rams and their strengths and weakness. You know your strengths. What would you suggest they would have to do? Because I think the LA Rams is going to be the team to beat. If they come and they use everything, barring injuries, because of course injuries can always change things. What would you say they would have to do to beat the Rams?
Well, let me say this first. We beat them last year in LA. So if I can put it mildly, if I can say it this way, do the same thing that we did last year. Go out. Stop them.
Yeah, but there was a few players less last year.
Yeah, but I don't know who they picked up that made them so much better. Their strength is, in my opinion, is their offense. If you stop their running game, they picked up this kid out of Georgia. He was the difference in them last year. If you stop their running game, I think you can control a lot what they can do. Now, I don't know what they have on defense, but I just think they're beatable. The Falcons have experience. That's one thing you got to take into account that they don't have. They got the offensive coordinator that the Falcons had. The assistant offensive coordinator for the L.A. Was it Raiders? L.A. Rams. Yeah, L.A. Rams. The assistant offensive coordinator is their head offensive coordinator. He was assistant offensive coordinator for the Falcons.
Right.
Well, they had the number one offense in the league last year.
Right.
And I still think it was due in part due to that running back that they had, Todd Curley.
Yeah.
I think if we stop him and we can do it, we got them. I feel very, very, very strong about this team.
I think you need to go into the locker room with the Falcons because I'm pretty sure that's what every team says.
Yes.
We need to just stop Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
I know it's always easier said than done because Todd Gurley is a whole handful in itself. But I respect that. I'm definitely looking forward to this season.
Yes.
I'm going to be in the game again, in the stadium again.
Right.
See the Falcons. If you didn't come out, the stadium's beautiful. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Come out and see the Falcons. My buddy Big Time got him going to the Super Bowl, and it won't be a bad thing because where's the Super Bowl going to be?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
In the ATL.
Yes, baby. Yes.
We getting ready. We partying right now.
I'm hyped. I can't wait.
Man,
I'm counting the days, man.
Man, February we're going to turn up, man. We're going to have a good time in Atlanta. So y'all start preparing. See, no matter what I'm going, I'll tell people now, I'm going to the Super Bowl next year.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So that was good. We'll see y'all after this break.
Okay, guys, that was Big Time and Frank, and they were giving you some input on the NBA as well as the Falcons this year. We're going to wrap this show up for you tonight, folks. We're going to put this thing on, so you guys check us out and give us some input on how you feel about the show. Next time you're here, hopefully we're live at a tailgate or something like that. We think about doing big things in the future. So if you like our show, go to our website, the mic is hot at gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know that you like what you hear. You want to be a sponsor, let us know as well. And hopefully next time we'll do the call-ins on the live show. You guys can call in and give us your opinion. Keep in mind, like we always say, we believe that everybody has an opinion, and your opinion is not necessarily right or wrong, but it's your opinion, and it should be heard. Thanks again, and we'll see you later on The Mic is Hot. I'm D, and we out.